Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to Tennis Town. For those of you who may or may not have been following tennis, developments over this past week, there is an interesting topic I want to talk about. It is regarding the prize money of men on the circuit. All right, so basically, long story short, Novak Djokovic, before the beginning of the Australian Open, decided that he wanted to push for a players-only union in order to push for the guys to get, basically better prize money during tournaments. Now, should it or should it not happen? Everyone will have their own take on it. Me personally, I think that, here's what I think. I think that the top players, are paid enough. But I feel as though the players ranked, outside the top 50, right down to, let's say 200 in the world, there's no way they're being paid anywhere near enough. So, my suggestion is that we don't need to increase prize money for, winning tournaments. Okay, so the later stages of tournaments, quarter, semis, finals, and winners, we don't need to increase the prize money there. But I am hugely in favour of increasing prize money for the earlier stages of tournaments. Okay, we have to reward those players at the lower echelons of the tour because these guys are the journeymen of the tour. They are the blood, sweat, and tears of the ATP. Without them, there are no Roger Federers and Rafa Nadals, because without them, they wouldn't have to, these top players wouldn't have to go through those players to win the tournaments. But basically, we need better prize money, more prize money for earlier stages of tournaments, because these players ranked, outside the top 50, from 50 all the way down to 200-300, it's very hard for them to get by. They have to travel weekly to different tournaments. They have to, they've got hotel costs, flight costs. They're also bringing, their coaching team and staff, the whole entourage with them. It's very expensive. So it's just a huge cost for them to keep on playing these tournaments every week. So I think it's super important that, the ATP helps to actually support them more. And then this way, I think that would be a fair resolution. So that's basically my take on it. Now, in saying that, what also happened was that the WTA, some people started commenting that perhaps women should also get an increase in prize money. Now, that's all well and good. Again, I would come in with the same view. I think that the women at the top levels of the game, women that win tournaments, prize money for winning tournaments, that's enough. But I feel as though, yes, again, same as with the men, they can increase the prize money for earlier stages of the tournaments in order to help support those players that are sort of going through that grind at the moment because they're not quite at the top and currently not earning enough to keep on going, or they are just earning enough, but it's it's just there's no, they're just playing because they literally just love the game. But in terms of making money and earning a real good living from the sport, that's not happening. Now, there is also the argument that women should get the same prize money as men. I don't know what you guys think. It's perhaps a touchy topic in this day and age, but me personally, I don't think that women should get the same prize money as men because I feel that it's relative to two things. I feel that it's relative to the amount of spectatorship, amount of viewership that you're bringing in. And we all know that the men's tennis tour brings a lot more viewers to the sport of tennis than the women's tour. And secondly, I think it's also relative to the level of play that is on display. I feel that obviously the men just naturally offer a much higher level of tennis to display. So as a result, they should be entitled to earn more prize money because they are the highest level of the game. And yes, some people have tried to say that Serena Williams could beat some of the top men out there. Let me tell you, that would never happen. Serena Williams would not even come close to beating anyone in the top 500 in the men's game. She'd probably get steamrolled 6-love, or it might even be a huge surprise if she got one game, honestly, because anyone that knows tennis a little bit knows that there's a huge difference in the skill set of the male players compared to the women. And that's not being anything. That's just basically the truth of the matter of the game. In tennis and perhaps in other sports, the gap in the skill set and ability may be smaller. But I can only speak for tennis, and I can tell you that in tennis, for example, the serve is such a big part of the game in tennis, right? And just the serve alone, men can hit serve so much faster than women. They would blow them off the court. That's why it's almost impossible for any man in the top 500, if he played Serena Williams, he'd probably never even drop his serve. Secondly, men hit with a lot more topspin. They just have they're able to generate so much more pace. They have a lot more racket head speed when they hit shots. so therefore generating a lot more topspin as well. I mean, that topspin would just kill any woman on the tour, including any top player. I mean, in 2 shots, the girls would be, 6 meters behind the baseline and then dropping ball short, and then the next shot, the men would be coming in and just easily finishing the point off. So in terms of level, it is very clear that men display a much higher level of tennis. And that's not to say that I'm not a fan of the women's game. I love watching the women's game too. But, if we're talking about prize money, based on those 2 reasons, that's why I think that men still deserve higher prize money. And don't forget, they also play 5 sets in Grand Slams, which women do not. So, yeah, some food for thought. So, guys, of course, if you think otherwise, please let me know. And, of course, if you enjoy the content, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe to the channel. It'll really mean a lot. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Cheers.